guys, just got back from a client meeting. I did get a chance to listen to the minister unveil this program today and speak about it for the first time live for the public. For me, it was general. It didn't give me the information I was quite looking for and the information that I wanted to pass off to my clients and all of you guys. However, we did get the magical guide. This guide is what will explain the entire program, and I've revised it, and it's told me a lot of things in terms of what kind of applications are going to be required and the documents that are going to be required. Some of the main things that we do know is that this is going to be unveiled through a portal, okay, similar to the express entry system, those of you who have applied in the past. And this portal is going to allow you to fill up your application and enter it in there exactly like that. A lot of things that I did get from the minister is that this is going to be a highly simplified process. It's going to be much more simplistic than the express entry, which is it's a major thing. That is actually an amazing thing in the sense that it's going to allow for more ease in submission of the documents. However, that also is something to debate about. Is this going to be something that's going to be very quickly filled up and anybody can put in any kind of information just so that they can get through the portal? We don't know. So spots could fill up very quickly. It's going to be unveiled and opened up tomorrow at 12 p.m. So anybody who's represented should have already gotten this information. If not, you've heard it from me now. So make sure you guys are ready for 12 p.m. Let's discuss some of the applications and stuff like that. I was just on the way into my home office over here. Follow me and we can explain it. See, one thing I want you guys to know, and why I want you to know when it's opening up and the different types of applications that are being requested of you, is because representatives are not going to be able to open up this portal. It's not meant specifically for representatives. They actually are going to the people directly. They want it so the people directly are filling out these forms and submitting it. So if your representatives have not made you aware of that fact just yet, that's something that you may want to start talking to them about. Call them today even to figure out exactly how they are going to be submitting your application specifically, and you guys should come up with a game plan for that. Now, some of the things that we do know now is a lot of the things that I had a suspicion of since the get-go. There will be an English language testing result required. In my previous video, I explained to you guys what was there in terms of qualifications. The qualifications remain the same. So for English, for the international student stream, which I've been emphasizing the most, is a level 5 in all the separate categories in the last category. I hope you tuned into that video and you guys were booking your IELTS exams. But here's a plus side on that. They will be accepting up to 2-year-old testing. So if you have a test that is valid for the last 2 years, they will accept that. The minister in his video made a general statement regarding the acceptance of testing within a 2-year. He didn't specify as to what. I'm assuming it's a generalization to any and all testings. From what I've seen, they haven't stipulated in the guide the exact amount of years that is required for all the different kinds of testings. For English, they have, but for the criminality and the other things, they haven't. So I'm thinking that's going to be very generalized, okay? Some of the other things that we know, criminal record checks are going to be required. And again, I'm going to go with this 2-year, within a 2-year period. And I hope you guys were listening and you were going to apply for it. Upfront medical examinations. Now, I've been hearing about this upfront medical examination, and I saw it. I did not see it in the guide as yet. And one thing that I want everybody to know, no designated medical practitioner can take a medical examination until it's been requested by Immigration Canada. So more than likely, if you've had a medical within the last 10 years, there's nothing to worry about. If this is something that they're requesting, I can tell you no DMP will issue you a medical test at this time without Immigration Canada authorizing you to do that. Now, aside from that, you may have already done it for any other stream or any other program. Submit that with your application. That would be my advice on that side of things. Biometrics, if you've had a biometrics done within the last 10 years, you will be exempted from the biometrics requirement. However, permanent resident citizens, you're always exempted regardless. I mean, that's the norm. So if you are a permanent resident or a citizen and you're applying as, somebody else's spouse or whatever, you're just being included in the application, you don't have to worry about going to giving biometrics. Aside from that, so the biometrics as well, you are going to have to take some sort of form to the biometric centers. Biometric centers are closed around the world from what I've been hearing, so this is going to be quite difficult. The minister was asked this question. He didn't really give a direct response in regards to that. His response was more in relation to the fact that, the program is unveiled. They're going to be accepting 2-year-olds. 2-year-old biometric statements, and they're also going to be accepting anybody who's had it for the last 10 years as well. So his responses were somewhat in that sense, but it will be difficult to get your English language assessments done. It will be difficult to get your criminal records assessments done as well. My advice is where you're unable to complete them, where the portal is going to allow you to upload that, submit some kind of explanation as to why you've not been able to successfully attain it to date. Okay? Now again, 12 p.m. this portal is going to open. The application form, so we all now know which application forms that they're going to be taking. It was my suspicion since the get-go for permanent residency, it's the generic applications, right? So you got your IMM 008, which is the generic application for permanent residency. That takes in your basic information, which Immigration Canada records and keeps, right? Aside from that is your additional family information form, your background declaration form, and within that they're going to request all of your travel history, previous addresses for the last 10 years. So sit down today, figure your history out, because in most of these Schedule A background declarations, what they're looking for is your last 10 years work experience or since the date you turned 18, okay? And these are always required in almost every permanent residency based type application. They're also going to be requesting for your address history for the last 10 years or since the date you become 18, whichever comes first, okay? So sit down with a pen and pencil, get all of that worked out if you haven't gotten it worked out in the last little while. They're going to be asking for all pertinent details to your education and all of that because this is an application for permanent residencies. See, many of you probably come to the country on temporary resident visas, like under the student visa program if you're going through the international graduate stream, or under the work permit program, right? Or some other program, but you've been here temporarily. So a large amount of the information that you would have given when coming here under a temporary resident visa would not have been as aggressive as the information they're going to be taking from you now. So a lot of things that can also hold up your place in the application is if you cannot remember where you worked 8 years ago, if you can't remember your employer's name, address, if you can't remember your address, 8 years ago or 7 years ago or 6 years ago, they're going to be asking in-depth like postal code information and stuff like that as well. So these are some things also that you can be working on. If you're represented, you can be working on to pass this information off to your representative so that they can start processing your applications. Your brother and sister's information. It's so funny how many times I get involved in an application and then it gets down to the point where I need to ask my client, what is your brother's date of birth? Where is he currently residing? What is his email address? Or what is your sister's date of birth, email address? These things, what are their current occupations? These are something else that you guys should be looking into. So some of the major highlights here with this guide being unleashed is now we know 100% that what the application forms are going to be, that it is a portal and it is going to be unveiling tomorrow at 12 p.m. So this is the program. Take advantage of it under the international graduate stream, especially 40,000 students inside the video with the minister on the live stream who reported to ask the question that we have over 1 million students currently present in the country. Don't you think this is going to fill up in the matter of minutes? Again, the minister gave a very general response back. I mean, look, we all know the reality of this program. It's first come, first serve. I'm telling you, starting now, all the way until tomorrow, I don't know how many hours I'm even going to sleep tonight. I don't know how much time I'm going to get to myself tomorrow. I don't even know if I'll be able to make a video tomorrow because I am going to be working towards achieving my clients' goals through this program, especially for the international graduates. I understand what it is to come to Canada as an international graduate, contribute all that money to this country, and not know where you're going to go. The question is the unknown. And today you do have the opportunity. There are 40,000 spots available to you. Move, push to it. If you don't have advice, if you don't have information that you need, contact me. My office number has always been available to you guys with 289-632-1571, extension number 1. You'll get through to somebody and let us guide you through the process. If you can make it, go for it. I also want to talk to you just very briefly about the workers program through Annex A and Annex B. The requirements are exactly the same as I've been discussing until now. And your work, just make sure you have your original offer letter, your job offer letter, and it entails your duties, and it has to be specific to those job requirements, right? That can be found at the CIC website. You can look through it on this guide as well. It has been unleashed. And for the international graduates, also remember that one last thing. You can be working for any employer. That is confirmed. Any employer. Have an original job offer. Your letter of employment explaining your position, capacity, your hour of employment, like how much wages you're making per hour, if it's a salary basis, and how long you've been working there. It does not matter when you started the employment, as long as you have those core factors such as your degree in hand, you graduated on or after January 2017, right? And that you are currently holding valid status that allows you to work on a full-time basis, which is an open work permit or even a closed work permit, and you required the job offer. So, as I said, this is all our opportunities. Let's all get to work. And you know what? As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to get back to you guys. And thank you for tuning in.